What up, Dokkaners? We got an announcement for more content coming up. Remember when I said a couple of videos ago that there was likely going to be a data download on the 24th, courtesy of Rick? That is pretty much lining up exactly as we expected. On the 22nd, 1 a.m. PDT, we got the announcement for upcoming content. So we are getting a few... Before I even start, let me just say, I know there's going to be comments. Saiyan Day has more content than the 11th anniversary. And you know what? You might be onto something, relatively speaking. Like, in terms of absolutes, I think anniversary still has this beat, but the fact that in 2 weeks we're getting all of this versus what happened during the anniversary, yeah, I'm sure some people are going to feel that way. Anyway, let's just jump from the top here. So we are getting a new Blue Zone DLC, and they are kind of like they're restructuring it and they're labeling it something new. So this is being called Supreme Magnificent Battle Remind, and this is versus 5 Great Super Saiyans. First time I read it, I read 5 Nights at Super Saiyans. Then my dyslexia kicked in and I read 5 Guys Super Saiyans, maybe because I was hungry. And then it actually, yeah, 5 Great Super Saiyans. So Gohan, Goten, Trunks, Vegeta, Goku. Oh, you've got the Halo in there. So what they're doing is they're essentially just taking all of the old Blue Zone stages and they're reconstructing it into a new set, and they're reimagining it. It's not like brand new stuff, but they're doing just enough to basically, you know, call it something new. Like, if we go back, let me pull up the original GT Boss and Blue Zone, the first one. So this is the original, and then the original Blue Zone. Actually, which one did we start with? This one, maybe? Actually, we didn't. First Blue Zone, I think, was Dragon Ball Super Edition. Okay, so this is what we had for Universe Survival Saga re-DLC, right? They had us fight Fighters of Universe 7, which was Krillin 18, Tien Piccolo, or Tien Roshi, Gohan Piccolo, right? But if we go to the original, look at what we had. First it was Roshi, then it was Roshi, right? Roshi Tien, then it was Roshi. Then it was Krillin 18, then 17, 18, and Goku. So what they basically did was they updated and restructured the events to consolidate all of the stuff essentially in more up-to-date condensed formats. That's what this is. This is what we got for that first stage. Second one is Goku Vegeta. So this is like all of these stages put together, but in 5 stages? No, 3 stages as opposed to 6. Just like with GT Boss. First we had Legic, then we had Lud, then we had Rildo, Bebe, Super 17, Shadow Dragons, Sin Shannon into Omega. Whereas the Remind DLC consolidated all of these guys into one lump sum. So Lude, Legic, Meta Rildo, and then Baby. And then what did they do next? Super 17 and Omega Shenron. So they brought it down to 3. So that's what they're doing again. So there's nothing new happening here. So like if we were to go through and figure out what they're going to be doing, it's pretty easy. We're going to take the the movie edition, and we're going to take next generation Saiyans. And I think all of these are going to be put together because I don't think that there's anything else in terms of Blue Zone that features Goku and Vegeta besides those. So let's take a look at these. This one, Goku Youth. This one is from the old Dragon Ball movie. That'll probably not be in there. This is from the Phantom Zone. That's not going to be in there. 3 Great Super Saiyans. They literally just took that name and they changed it into 5 Great Super Saiyans. It's right here. So yeah, this will most definitely be in there somewhere. Okay. And then what else? Super Saiyan Goku. What's this? Oh, this is the Broly movie. Based on the graphic though, they both have to be Majin Buu Saga. Do we have any Majin Buu Saga Goku Vegetas? We don't. Actually, maybe there is going to be a little bit of restructuring going on. Because if we think of next generation Saiyans, Goten Trunks, Gohan, Goten Trunks, they're all from Majin Buu Saga, but actually, you know what? There actually might be a little bit of new stuff because I can't recall any of the Blue Zones giving us that. Strike that. There was one more, Gathering of the Super Warriors. So Next Generation Saiyans, movie edition. Gathering of the Super Warriors. How did this go? It was all of Dragon Ball Saga. Then it was all of Z. Oh, wow. And then Z2. Okay, so there's going to be a little bit of new stuff, actually. So I take that back. There will be a few new additions to the mix. But otherwise, this is going to basically be next generation Saiyans and maybe a little bit of this. Probably a lot of this, actually. Next generation, dude. What if? Oh my god. This is already one incredibly annoying fight, right? So if they're gonna consolidate, what if they make this the apex of like a 4-stage or 4-phase fight? Oh boy. All right, so we just spent 5 minutes trying to figure this out. Basically, this is gonna be pretty tough. I think this is going to be incredibly challenging, and it's probably going to require some Majin Buu Saga characters in order to get through that. Looking at the original missions, this one required 4 Majin Buu Saga characters to begin with, so I think that also... Oh wait, no, that's yeah, that event is already out. We could maybe go back and revisit that now that the Majin Vegeta exists, but yeah, that should be fun. We got new stages for Union Master stages 15 and 16. Actually, no, we should do a stone count towards the end of this just to see how much we're going to be getting from all this. We got Extreme Steel Ball Run. This is the stage 81, so we are starting a brand new set, which means we're getting a brand new support memory. So we'll find out when that mission comes out. We'll see. Speaking of support memory, by the way, with this new Blue Zone DLC thing, we are going to be getting a new support memory for this one. And for those of you curious, if we go back, the support memories that you get from these like DLC versions of the Blue Zone and Red Zone, they are not perma-stacks or perma stat buffs like the other ones. Like this one, it's a new archetype. This one gives you 20% for 7 turns when there's a certain type of enemy. So this is kind of like the original one, only it's starting out at the level of a boosted perma boost. So that means when this one eventually gets an EZA, then the stat buff for the first 7 turns will maybe go up to 30% or even 40%, which is pretty remarkable considering that's essentially a free big bad boss, but even more so. So that's the incentive behind this. But if you don't care about this because you care more so about like the permastat ones, then I wouldn't worry. And honestly, for me, I would rather use the permastat ones than this one. I don't like realizing, you know, like turn 10 that I lost 20% and it doesn't even like tell you that it goes away. So I'd rather not, you know, I'd rather not. Anyway, we got that one. We got, so a new support move is going to come up for that. We got Onion Master, which means I think it's like 12 stones per stage, something like that. We got Extreme Steel Ball Run, so a new support memory is going to open up. We got new missions coming up for these. So the Blue Zone and the Red Zone that are already established, we will be getting new missions for those. Okay, that'll be cool. We'll see what it's for. Probably stuff that pertains to uncontrollable power Pure Saiyans and Majin Buu Saga stuff, if I were to guess. And then we've got a new burst mode coming up, Proud Prince of Saiyans. I'm assuming that is the Majin Vegeta Dokkan event. Yep, nailed it. That's the one. I'll probably do it on the new fight because there are, well, whichever, either the new one or the previous one. So that means what, another 11 stones? They've revamped burst mode, which means more stones. Dude, a lot of stones coming in for all this stuff. Wow. I'm gonna guess we're gonna get 1 mission for each, or at most 2 missions, and then all this stuff. Let's go ahead and do a count. Blue Zone DLC. Each stage completion gives you 7 stones. Each one has its own category mission, which is 3 stones. So 7 plus 3 is 10. 10 times 3 is 30, plus the stones for getting each one, so that's 33. Next up, we got Onion Master. For this one, each stage gives you 11 stones based on missions and completing the stage. 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3. So that brings us to 10. 10 plus the 1 for clearing it, so 11. 11 times 2, since there's going to be 2 stages, 15 to 16, that's 22 stones. Then Extreme Steel Ball Run. This is going to give us 1 stage, that's 8 Dragon Stones. Red Zone, Blue Zone missions, I don't remember how many we got, and I don't want to look right now. So I'm going to go ahead and just say 5 each. I'm just going to say 10. So I'm going to be underestimating how many missions there are and how much it's going to be giving us. I'm just going to assume 5 each. So 5 plus 5 is 10. And then burst mode, if I remember correctly, the new version now gives us 15 stones as opposed to 9 like before. 33 plus 22 plus 8 plus 10 plus 15. That brings us to 88 Dragon Stones. So over 75 Dragon Stones coming up with all this content. I think that's pretty good. That is a pretty impressive amount for a lowly Saiyan Day celebration as opposed to anniversary, right? But that's still pretty good. Wanted to check out Proton's data ID table tweet thing. So after the latest data download, this is from last week when we had the stuff coming in for Saiyan Day. We had the data tables between the 2-2 and 7-7 and awakenings. So this points to awakening for the Tech Goku into an LR. awakening for the STR Krillin into a TUR. And then we've got one TUR EZA missing. And yes, Dende's awakening creates a massive 101 ID gap in one of the tables. Maybe he was planned for a different celebration, or maybe just like opens up new future weirdos to be dropped during future Dokkan Frontier stuff. So since Majin Vegeta's EZA is already shown here, that means that this has nothing to do with him. Instead, this could mean one more potential EZA coming up. A lot of us were expecting that news to be dropping tonight along with the upcoming content, but since it's not here, I guess the chances are lower, but I guess there's still a chance that they give us something for that. But yeah, I wouldn't be too sure about that. But still, I mean, 88 or 75 Dragon Stones is still a pretty good follow-up to the first half of the first week of the Saiyan Day celebration. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like down below. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on the Saiyan Day content that is coming up soon. Do you guys like it? Do you not like it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more Dokkan content in the future and click the notification bell so that you let YouTube know you want to see more as I do it. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. And always remember to Dokkan responsibly.